والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك آمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ الحمد لله. Good to see everybody again, alhamdulillah, after what seems like a long time. Alhamdulillah. I think to start off with some reminders to ourselves, inshallah, is that Ramadan is how many weeks away? It's just over 4 weeks away. I think 5 weeks away. One of the keys to success of Ramadan doesn't lie in Ramadan. The keys to a successful Ramadan doesn't lie in Ramadan. Where does it lie? In Sha'ban. Sha'ban is the key, is the opening to Ramadan, is the key to success. And I want to remind myself, first of all, because we don't want to walk into Ramadan unprepared. I'm not talking about the samosas and the sisters and the savories and the Laparan clothes. I'm talking about the state of our hearts. We don't want to walk into Ramadan unprepared, with hearts unprepared, and enter Ramadan and wake up and say, oh, tonight's first Tarawih. You know, like suddenly, like you weren't, like, you know, yeah, it happens, but it shouldn't happen. So I think that I'm reminding myself, first of all, is that we have to make an effort to prepare. It was part of the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam never fasted more in any month besides Ramadan, in any month than Sha'ban. So besides Ramadan, when the Prophet fasted the most was in Sha'ban. In the narration of Aisha radiallahu anha, she says that he fasted almost the entire month of Sha'ban. And when you look at the hadith, my understanding of the hadith is the Prophet ﷺ was preparing for Ramadan. And how was he preparing? He was preparing by fasting almost the entire month of Sha'ban. He was preparing, waiting for Ramadan. So, just maybe 3 points of advice for us to prepare. And I'm reminding myself also, first of all, what we have to do. 3 things. The first thing is that we cannot fill our buckets of purity, of closeness to Allah, if there are big holes in it. Because you fill a bucket with a hole, just water runs out. And what is the hole in our buckets? It's those things which displease Allah. It's those things which Allah has asked us to refrain from or not to do. Those things which are very personal, because everybody has their own struggles. Each one of you know what you struggle with. Each one of you knows what displeases Allah, but you still do it for whichever reason. We all have our struggles. But we should know that that struggle, I'm not talking about something halal, I'm talking about something haram now. Those things are actually depriving us of being close to Allah. It's very difficult to be close to Allah when we're in a state of sin. Very difficult. Generally, sin, the automatic effect of sin, it hardens the heart. And we all experienced it before. As soon as you enter into a habit of sin, a lifestyle of sin, automatically your heart just stops feeling. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to stop. Now, one of the difficulties with sin is generally it's very addictive. People do it because they're addicted to it. And I think one of the solutions is just tell yourself, for 4 weeks you're not going to do it. You can't tell yourself, I'll never do the thing. It's like difficult. Tell yourself, for 4 weeks, this month of Sha'ban, I am not going to do it. I'm cutting myself off from that. Whether it's whatever it is, a habit, a person, a relationship, whatever it is. 4 weeks. Because inshallah, if you don't do it for 4 weeks, enter Ramadan, you won't do it because Ramadan we're all pious. It'll be 8 weeks. And inshallah, we'll hopefully rid ourselves of those sins. So there are alarm bells coming. The first alarm bell is Wednesday night, which is Mi'raj. It's the first alarm bell telling you there's 1 month left. What's second alarm bell? 15th of Sha'ban. There's 2 weeks left. Don't let those alarm bells come and you're still in the same state. That's the first thing. May Allah give us the strength, inshallah. Sometimes we don't understand, I don't know, human nature is like the strangest thing. Like when you think about yourself, like we like the strangest, we get attached to the most, sometimes destructive things, knowingly. We knowingly do the wrong thing for little benefit, but we still do it. Ya Rabbi. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Next thing. So the first thing is that to fix the bucket. Once the bucket, alhamdulillah, inshallah, is mended and fixed, or at least is a prop there to stop the hole for a while, what you have to do is you have to do something extra to move closer to Allah. So a simple thing is that many of us maybe have not been regular with our Quran. Start with 1 page a day. Don't Ramadan come and now you just Amma, now I'm Surah Baqarah, now you're going to start now. You know, let's at least prove to ourselves something that we can start with the Quran before Ramadan. So at least start before. Something small, 5 minutes of dua in the morning, some dhikr in the morning. Maybe we're going to make our sunnahs for a change. Or make it regularly. Not only in the mosque, at home also. Maybe we're going to go to the mosque once a day. If we're going once, let's go twice a day. We just have to do something extra to get ourselves ready for Ramadan. And the third thing is, not everything halal is good for you. Not everything halal is good for you. There are things that are halal, that are permissible, but they take your heart away from Allah. They cause you to forget Allah. They cause you to become unmindful, which in Arabic is a state of ghafla. So the first thing I said was what? We have to stop those things which displease Allah, those things which are haram. The second thing is we must do more. But the third thing we have to do in Sha'ban especially is we have to remove ghafla. We have to remove heedlessness. And what do you think is causing most of the heedlessness in your life? What's in your bag? What's in your pocket? That's what you look at this morning before you get into class. You probably check the break time also. Some of you are really bad, you check it in class also, just in case you get a message in class, you must, can't go whole class go by and check. Some of you may be checking right now. And as soon as the period ends, before you get to the car, you'll check it. Or the moment you get in your car, you'll check it. Really, we have our psychiatrist here, but it's becoming a form of addiction. It's becoming a form of mass addiction, not of other people, of ourselves. And I include myself also. Like I have goals which I haven't attained with regard to my screen usage. Like I have this ambition in my mind, I don't know why I can't get there, but my goal in my mind is to put off all the devices at 8 o'clock at night. Do you have a goal before in your life? Switch off at 8 o'clock and have a normal, peaceful evening with a book and conversation. Remember those things when we were growing up? That time. It's almost like we become so used to it, almost like we can't even imagine an alternative anymore. And it's very, very, very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy. So the third thing really is that for me is that I don't have my phone with me, I don't know what it is now. Oh yeah, it is. The third thing is it's almost like a life support next to you. If you leave it open, must turn around and go fetch it. You can't be out your phone. The third thing is really is Sha'ban, a digital detox. Digital detox. It's difficult, but we have to try it. One of the most peaceful moments I have in my life is when I fly. My phone's on flight mode. Then I actually take out the book and pen and start writing my thoughts down. And I actually open the book and read. It's just like you have to now fly just to get some peace from your own self. It's a crazy situation. So just 3 things when it comes to your phone. Number 1 is you have to set usage times. Okay, I really feel like a hypocrite saying this, but I'm going to try, inshallah. I've been saying it for years, but I struggle to do it. I struggle also because you're busy also, you have to check, you have things to arrange, and you have all these things, reasons why you must have it, but in the process of having it, you also get distracted. Yes, you must check something for a meeting happening tomorrow, but then check Facebook, then check BBC, check IOL, then check to this one, read a few jokes, check memes. Like you wasted an hour and it's gone. It's like a disease, really. So we must all try our best to have some cut of time. Number 2, my advice to all of us is delete the apps that take your time. I'm not saying you must deregister from social media. I'm saying delete the app from your phone. Delete Facebook and Instagram from your phone. If you really have to check it, take out your computer and go check there on your computer, but don't make it so accessible. Because you're bored, you just open it. And that news feed, it just goes on and on and on. Even this morning I was watching whatever science experiments for in 2 minutes. Then they show the video, they show all the experiments. I'm thinking I was crying for my kids, or recipes the sisters here, how they make this, or the brothers. I don't know. They have like a whole lot of. There's that is the definition of ghafla, is that news feed. Because you don't know, you're going from Mufti Bing to the New Zealand to this guy that's his car up. What happened to your mind? So imagine your mind's going it really can't be healthy. It can't be healthy. And one of the things I realized recently was that I was reading this book on Antoine Guru and his life. It's really fascinating. But what I realized, because I was on the plane, so I was reading. But I was reading and you get into it, your mind starts pondering, you start thinking. But I realized that as soon as you check your phone, it actually just pulls your mind away from what you are doing to that, then pulls your mind here, then pulls your mind here, then pulls your mind here. It doesn't actually allow you to think deeply. Do you see it? And it's very bad, because thinking deeply is one of the most profound things in Islam. Tadabbur and tafakkur, one of the most profound things in Islam is to think deeply, to reflect. When I say you reflect, you must go camping, put in the mountain first before you reflect. You know what I mean? We have to do that to get you to reflect. I mean, for the sisters who don't know, is that on the camp, what we do is we ask the brothers to go into the mountain and sit for 45 minutes without the phone and reflect on their life. Wallahi, I don't know what it is, but when the people speak about the highlight of the camp wasn't a talk or the dhikr or the team building. The highlight was just sitting there quietly and thinking. I find that amazing. It was the highlight of the camp was just sitting there doing nothing. Not even the good food we had. All our effort, and that's the highlight, to sit there alone. But it tells you about our condition. So number 1, usage limits. Number 2 is I like to read news. I don't know why, but I read so much news that I get frustrated. There's not more news because I read all that news already. I don't see it I read all the articles in there already. Then I check in the hour. There's not. I'm like, what's happening in the world news? It's too slow. It's crazy, what I mean? It's crazy. I don't know what's happening to our minds. So the second thing is you have to delete those apps. Even if it's news apps also, I think you have to delete them. Just for a month. You can check on your computer or something. And the third thing I do alhamdulillah, is the third thing is that you have to turn off your notifications. Your email, your WhatsApp and your SMS notifications. In fact, turn off all your notifications. Why? Is because when you're sitting here, then someone sends you a message, bzzz. Bzzz. It's like insanity. If it's some random person sending you a phone, you just have to check. So alhamdulillah, at least I turn mine off. My phone doesn't buzz, except in the phone call, but I don't also answer. But my phone doesn't buzz also because I can't, that's at least something I do. Is I don't want this thing all the time buzzing in my pocket, distracting me all the time, taking me wondering who there is all the time. Just turn off your notifications and settings, no? Apps, notification, try the thing off. Off. Do not disturb mode. Put it off. All your phones have it. Put it off because it's unhealthy for you just to keep being triggered. Your brain being triggered all the time like this. That's my advice for Ramadan, for Sha'ban. Those 3 things. You have to reclaim your sanity and reclaim your intelligence. I bet most of you haven't read the book in this whole year. I bet most of you, look at around, most of you have not read one book this year. Many of you have not read a book in years. You started maybe a few pages and you left it. It's a disease of our time, really. And it has spiritual effects, it has intellectual effects, it has affected your psychology, your emotions, everything is being affected. Because everything and nothing is like calm and peaceful. That's why sometimes load shedding is a blessing also. Do you notice how peaceful it is when the lights go off? It's like, ya salam. It's like peace. Like everything just feels peaceful. You put the candle on, it's just like, this feels good. Do you feel good? I feel good. Like it feels good. Hopefully your phone is also dead. I don't know, some of your phone's still alive. But it just feels good. It feels good just to slow down and reflect. That's my advice for Ramadan, inshallah. Let's prepare together. Inshallah, those three things. Number one is to refrain from those things which displease Allah. Number two is to do something extra to move close to Allah. Number three is a digital detox, to reclaim your mind and your consciousness for Ramadan, inshallah. And also the last thing is to take your family with you on the journey. Make it a family affair. Especially your mothers and fathers of the family, make it a family movement. Get your family in preparation mode. Your kids, your wife, your families in preparation for Ramadan mode. There's something different about Sha'ban. We're preparing now. You know what I mean? There must be like, there's a big event coming up. Like, you have to lead your families. You have to lead yourself and lead your family together. So Bismillah, and don't be too harsh, but just some basic stuff just to get going, inshallah. Barakallah. Allah bless your journeys. Amen, inshallah. Also, we're having a program this Friday, partly in preparation for Ramadan. So we're having a program, Mizan's having a program this Friday at Atri Masjid. You know Atri, where Oracle is? Atri Masjid, after Isha on Friday evening. For the brothers who are on the campus, but you know the evening camp program? We're having that at Atri Mosque, inshallah. So the program is as follows: for Isha together. It's open for males and females, open for the public. It's a free, there's no registration, just come to the program. So it's after Isha, we have our evening du'as, and then short 5-10 minutes, and then we have a talk, and then we have a dhikr. Because we remember Allah collectively is different type of knowledge and experience. And then we end with dua, and so we end probably like 10:30, 11 or so. And then the program continues in the morning, but brothers who want to sleep over can sleep over. It's optional, but we'll be sleeping over, the khidmat team will be sleeping over. We'll be sleeping over until the morning, and then about 11:45, in the morning, say about 45 minutes before Fajr, we'll have a short Qiyamul Layl. And then we'll sit from Fajr until Ishraq. So from Fajr until about 7:30. 7:30 we have breakfast, 8 o'clock you can go home. 8 o'clock in the morning you can go home, inshallah. Spend time with your family, so we won't take family time. But the Prophet ﷺ says, whoever sits from Fajr until he plays Fajr in Jama'ah, and sits from Fajr till Ishraq, remembering Allah, and ends that sitting with 2 rak'ats of Sunnah, that person will be written the reward of a Hajj and Umrah, Tama, a complete Hajj and Umrah reward for that person. So we are at least collectively try to do it together, inshallah. So the sisters, you can come for the evening program, and come for the morning program, and the brothers, and those who want to sleep over can sleep over, inshallah. Join us if you can sleep over. It's a different experience. Sleep in the mosque as well, with the niyyah of i'tikaf. You also get a reward just for your sleeping there as well. So this Friday, after Isha, you can bring your family and friends to the masjid in Atri, inshallah, as part of preparing for Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. Anything on add? Also that next week, your class will remain here, but the first years will be somewhere else, because the nikah happened next week. But you will still be here next week, inshallah. Okay, oh, this one's working, this thing, eh? Okay, do you have your notes in front of you? You just go through a few of the divine speech notes. Allahu Akbar. But I'm looking forward to Ramadan. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to Ramadan. Ramadan just forces you to be a good person for a change. It's like force you just to be like really good. You know, you're in the mosque, you're in the Quran, you're fasting. You're just you're like the real version of yourself, the better version of yourself. So I'm looking forward to being in Ramadan again. Now, we're on page number. Another page number is, but it says shifts in audience on top. What's the page number there? وَظَلَّلْنَا عَلَيْكُمُ الْغَمَامَ. That one. Page 12. Can you show me what it looks like?
That's the old one.
Yeah, the old one was the new one. The new one. This is the new one. You all have it there? On top it says وَظَلَّلْنَا عَلَيْكُمُ الْغَمَامَ. There's a new one, same page. So make sure the person next to you find it. Got it? Okay. Okay, so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are doing shifts in audience, and let's just do an example. An example will suffice for this lesson, inshallah. Second example says, هو الذي يسيركم في البر والبحر. You see that there? هو الذي. He is the one that يسيركم في البر والبحر. يسير means it causes you to travel. Allah is speaking to the audience in which person here? Is Allah speaking about the they audience or the you audience? Look at the first 5 words. هو الذي. He is the one that يسيركم. He causes all of you. So Allah is speaking on the second person. Allah is speaking direct to the immediate audience. He is the one that causes you to travel fil barri wal bahri, in the bar, in the land, wal bahri, and in the ocean, in the seas. Hatta, until, idha, when, kuntum. What's kuntum mean? You are or you were. Kuntum, you are fil fulki, in the fulk is the ships. وَجَرَيْنَا بِهِمْ بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ. And we cause them to, jarayna means to travel. We cause them to travel بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ, with a rih, a wind which is tayyiba, a good wind. Because a sailboat, and Allah caused the sailboat to travel. وَفَرِحُوا بِهَا. And farihu, they become happy with it, with this good wind. What happened now in the iltifat? What happened now? Did you see what happened? What happened? Allah shifted from speaking about to you, about what? To them. It's the same group of people, from you to them. Whenever you see ka or kum, it's you. Antum, you. You see hum, it's them. You see fariha, farihu, it's they. That wal jama'ah refers to them. So let's go from the beginning again. Huwa alladhi, he is the one that yusayyirukum. He causes you to travel. Fil barri and bahri, in the land and in the oceans. Hatta idha kuntum, until all of you are fil fulki, are in the ships. وَجَرَيْنَا بِهِمْ بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ. You see there? And we cause with them to وَجَرَيْنَا, and we cause the ships to travel with them بِرِيحٍ طَيِّبَةٍ, with a good wind. وَفَرِحُوا بِهَا, and they become happy with it. You with me? So it comes in the third person. Okay, let's leave the sentence for now. What's Allah describing? Allah describing a group of people. They're on a boat, and there's a sailboat, and the beautiful wind is pushing them, a good wind is pushing them. Because obviously if you're on a boat, you don't want no wind, because you can't sail. Or you don't want a destructive wind that's going to knock you over and cause a storm. You want a tayyib wind, a good wind. So when the good wind comes, how do the people on the boat feel? وَفَرِحُوا بِهَا, they become happy with this wind. And when this happens, جاءتها ريح عاصف. جاءتها comes to it, comes to the fulk, comes to the ships. What comes to it? Rihun, a wind which is عاصف, a stormy wind. وجاءهم, and comes to you, comes to them, and comes to them. الموج من كل مكان. عجيب. الموج, a mawj means waves, and waves come min kulli makan, from every direction. You know, when you have a storm, like the waves just crash. وَظَنُّوا, and who thinks? They think. ظَنَّ, ظَنُّوا, and they think أَنَّهُمْ, that they أُحِيطَ بِهِمْ, that they're going to be encompassed by it, by this waves, by the storm. They're going to be drowned by the storm. What happens when you're in the boat and the storm comes and the waves are crashing and you think you're going to drown? What's the natural reaction? Da'ahu Allah. They start calling upon Allah. They make dua to Allah. Mukhlisin lahuddin. They make dua to Allah. Mukhlis, as people of purity, of people of piety. Lahuddin, to Him belongs the faith, and Him alone. And what do they say to Allah? La in anjaytana. La, definitely, if anjaytana, if you Allah, if you save us, min hadihi, from this storm, from this destruction, lanakunanna min ash-shakirin, we will definitely be from those who are grateful to you, Allah. Does Allah save them? Allah saves them. فَلَمَّا أَنْجَاهُمْ, then when أَنْجَاهُمْ, Allah saves them, إِذَا, then suddenly, hum, they, يَبْغُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ, يَبْغُونَ, they seek in this earth بِغَيْرِ الْحَقِّ, without any truth. In other words, they transgress the bounds in their seeking of this earth. They turn away from Allah. When they turn away from Allah, the moment He saves them. Then Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, O mankind, innama baghyukum. Baghi also means to, not seek, also means to go over the bounds as well. Seek, go over the bounds. Innama, only, baghyukum, your transgression, ala anfusikum, is against yourselves. What happened there now? Do you see the change? Allah doesn't say their transgression against themselves. Allah says your transgression is against yourself. So we went from you to they, back to you. Mata al-hayati dunya, the thing that you're striving for and transgressing for is just mata al-hayati dunya. It is the goods of the worldly life. Thumma ilayna marji'ukum, then to us is marji'ukum, is not marji'uhum, but their return is your return. فَنُنَبِّئُكُمْ, and we will inform you, بِمَا كُنْتُمْ, with that which you used to, تَعْمَلُونَ, you used to do. The long section. What is the thing we want to look at? What the focus of our lesson today is looking at the iltifat. What's the summary of the iltifat? Allah went from second person to third person back to second person. So the first thing is for you to be aware of the iltifat. The second thing is for you to explain the iltifat. Why? At which point did Allah go to the third person, and at which point did Allah come back to the second person, and why? At which point did Allah go to the third person? Which point in the story? The point Allah went to the third person is the point they started sailing. You with me? And when did Allah go? So As soon as the boat departed, Allah went into the third person. When did Allah go back into the second person? The moment they returned. So you know what happens is that language is like subtleties. You an Arab, have you been on a boat before? In time Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Highly unlikely that you've ever been on a boat before. Highly unlikely. So first of all, if Allah had to make it to you, is it relatable for you to be on a boat? You've never been on a boat before, you know what I mean? So Allah speaking to you, but Allah speaks about an example that's a bit not so close to you. So Allah doesn't keep it about you because it's almost like, well, I haven't been on a boat. You with me? That's the first thing. The second thing, just in the subtlety of language, Allah is describing a boat going out and the storm. You know, the idea of being on a boat is what? The idea of distance. You understand? Like land is close. You know, we're close to each other. You think about being on a boat and wind and storms, what do you think? Of being far out. What happened to the iltifat? Allah speaking to you, Allah speaks about them. You with me? It's almost like the journey of the boat is reflected in the iltifat, and as they come back to ocean, the iltifat is again you. So like, you know, just like feeding of language, is that the third person has more distance. Last thing, the third benefit of iltifat is that the iltifat happens at the time of the story. You with me? In other words, when Allah tells a story, it's almost like telling a story of a group of people. But when He wants to bring the story to you, Allah actually cuts off the story and speaks about Ya ayyuhan nas. Meaning what? That metaphorical story is actually brought home to you. Meaning what? That you have been in a desperate time in your life when the storm has come. And you have made promises to Allah, Ya Allah, if you just help me through this, I'm going to change. And guess what happened? Allah helped you and you turned away. You broke all your promises. You with me? So as Allah brings that story home to you, the audience, Ya ayyuhan nas, innama baghikum ala anfusikum, Allah brings the iltifat back from the story to you. To bring home that story, that's actually a metaphor for what you have done in your lives. And we've all been there. We all made these amazing promises in our moments of desperation. Whether in our health desperation, financial desperation, relationship desperation, anything. Many people who are single make lots of du'as and promise me that if I get married, then you're going to see. Now I'm lonely now, so it's difficult now. When I get married, then get married, nothing happened, nothing changed. Same old. Don't have kids, Allah give me kids. Then I'll say Hajj, then I'm going to do this. Allah's help me with this debt, then I'm going to do this. Allah's help me with the sickness, my illness, my family's illness, then I'm going to change. Whatever it is, it's a beautiful. So the point is the iltifat actually adds to the potency of the message. Barakallah. We continue next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We'll see you on Friday, inshallah ta'ala.